everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my worst books of 2019. I'm also going to tell you my rating for each of these books as well as the average rating so you can see if my opinion follows the consensus or not. I'm going to be talking about my 5 lowest rated books of the year. 5 is a good number. The first one is actually one that I talked about in my last video. It's the only book I DNF'd this year, and that is 6 Goodbyes We Never Said by Candace Granger. And this has I have a Goodreads open over here. This has an average rating of 3.56. I DNF'd it, and I don't rate my DNFs. So it has 0 stars from me. I didn't like this book. I didn't like the writing style. It wasn't for me. Next up is a book that I don't follow the opinions of a lot of people on. That is The Sky is Everywhere by J.D. Nelson. I rated this 2 stars. It has an average rating of 4.01 stars. I didn't like this book, and I thought I would. And I don't remember why, because I read it back in May, so we're going to open my review for this. Okay, apparently I didn't write a review, but apparently I rated it 2.5 stars, so I gotta look at the synopsis to see what it's about, see if I can remember. Oh! I thought this story was weird. I thought it was all weird how everybody was kitten and canoodling and all that jazz. I'm not going to spoil anything, but everybody was kitten and canoodling with whatever, but I thought it was weird. I didn't like it. So I thought I was really going to like this because it is a hard-hitting contemporary. The main character is dealing with the passing of her sister and having to move on from that. But I thought the way she did it was just a little weird, and I know everybody grieves differently. I don't know, knowing the things that the main character knew and then like what happened, I just didn't like it. Next up is Orpheus Girl. I rated this 2 stars, and it has an average of 3.54 stars. So I'm not alone in this. Couple things with this book that I remember. This was an arc provided to me, and I'm just gonna spill the tea. Number 1, I did not think this book followed the idea of Greek mythology well. I had to look up the Orpheus myth because I didn't really know it, and I wanted to make sure that like I was knowledgeable on what the myth actually was. However, I don't think the story that we followed that myth as well as I was hoping. Didn't really deal with Greek mythology all that much, and I was kind of expecting this like triumphant love story, and it like wasn't triumphant until the last like 10 pages. It was just a very negative book, and granted it's a very negative topic, very hard-hitting topic. However, like you kind of are expecting this like triumphant thing, and it's not. It's just depressing. Also, I didn't care about the characters as much as I wish I had. It's such a short book that I didn't get to know the characters all that well. So like the things that were happening to them, I'm like, ooh, that's not good. I don't like that. But then I was like, but like I can't sympathize directly with the character. I can sympathize with the situation, but I can't sympathize with the character. Does that make sense? Like I can be like, oh, that's a sucky situation for anyone to be in. But then I'm like, but not this character. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm explaining that well. This is why I don't do reviews. Next up, If I Was Your Girl. I just didn't like it. I think it's important to have transgender representation in books, especially young adult transgender representation. I thought that was super good. Just not my thing. Just not my thing. I didn't like the love story. I didn't like the story. I didn't like the conclusion. I just wasn't a fan. And lastly, The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. I don't want to say this was one of the worst. I rated this 3 stars. It has an average of 4.42. I forgot to say for the last one, If I Was Your Girl I rated 3 stars. It has an average of 4. Language of Thorns. It was kind of like an anthology type thing, so I rated each story individually, and I ended up around like a 3.25, 3.5. And I just didn't love all the stories. I do like fairy tale retellings, but there were some that I was like, what in the world is happening here? And I love the art style. I thought the art style was phenomenal. It just wasn't my thing, but I wouldn't say it was one of the worst books I've read. Like, I don't look at that book with disdain, you know? Those are what I would say were the worst books, but at the same time, they weren't the worst books. They were just books that, you know, I don't particularly plan on picking up a physical copy of if it was a library rental, or I don't like look on my shelves and recommend it to people frequently. That's just kind of like the way I think of it. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in my next one. Happy reading!